Alright, science and religion have long been seen as opposites, contradictory, playing on two different teams, fighting against each other in a never-ending war. Yeah, that's wrong. If you know anything about science at all, especially the creation of the Earth, and if you've only read literally the first chapter of the Bible, you would see how closely they truly match up.
But I thought the Earth was created by space dust and supernovas. The Bible says the Earth was created by God. Those aren't the same things at all.
Some people are probably saying right now. So instead of yelling and getting upset, I figured I should just show you. In order for Earth to be Earth, you need 5 things in this exact order. 1 giant solid rock sphere, give it an atmosphere, cover it in water, add some landmass, continents, and maybe a few plants, and there you go. Earth. I'm going to show you the science first, and then show you Genesis chapter 1 just to see how absolutely perfectly congruent they truly are. Step number 1 in the Earth creating process is to have 1 giant solid rock sphere. But the Earth actually did not start as 1 solid giant rock sphere. It was actually originally dust and gas. According to researchers at the University of Chicago, the Earth, like all other planets in our solar system, started out its life as a disk of dust and gas orbiting the young sun. The dust particles were brought together by the forces of drag to form clumps of rock that grew into what scientists call planetesimals, which are tens to hundreds of miles across, and then to Mars-sized protoplanets by colliding with each other. Think about it almost like taking a bunch of individual tiny pieces of clay and smashing them together until eventually you have a couple medium-sized pieces of clay, and then smashing those together to form 1 giant solid rock of clay. And that's the Earth. Now, keeping the science in mind, let's read Genesis chapter 1 verses 1 and 2. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. Notice, the Bible doesn't say the earth started as a giant solid rock sphere. No, it says the earth was without form and void. This phrase here, without form and void, in Hebrew, according to the Webster's Dictionary, means the confused, unorganized condition or mass of matter before the creation of distinct and orderly forms. Basically meaning the matter, the actual physical pieces required to build the earth, were already there, they just weren't smashed together yet. Sound familiar? Step 2, the next step in the order of operations to building Earth 101, is to give it an atmosphere. According to the EPSL Science Journal, smashing a bunch of rocks together causes a tremendous amount of heat through friction, and it caused various gases to be trapped under the initial crust of the Earth. These gases had to eventually go somewhere, so through a process known as outgassing, according to BBC UK, the Earth spit out a bunch of carbon dioxide mainly, but a little bit of methane, ammonia, nitrogen, and probably most importantly, water vapor. All of this outgassing caused a very dirty, foggy, and very lacking in oxygen atmosphere. But still, an atmosphere nonetheless. This early atmosphere protected the surface of the Earth from the sun, leading it to be able to cool down. This cooling caused the water vapor, very important that we spoke about earlier, to condense, leading to liquid water on the surface of the Earth. So again, it's Bible time. Let's look at Genesis chapter 1, verses 6 and 7. And God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. And God made the expanse and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse." These verses describe the creation of oceans, or the waters under the expanse, and the creation of the atmosphere. Now, with all those things being in place, we're already more than halfway there. We just need some dry land. If you attended 4th grade, and I hope you did, you learned about tectonic plates, or the way that the Earth's crust breaks and shifts and smashes into each other to form mountains and chasms. Essentially, when the Earth was forming, the tectonic plates were doing their thing underneath the water. And when you have 2 tectonic plates smash into each other, they can't go down because they're solid ground. The only choice they have to make is to go up. Eventually, after these tectonic plates get high enough, they poke themselves up out of the water surface, causing dry land. Now, naturally, when tectonic plates are moving upward, it causes all the water inside to flow downward, leading to pockets of water, like peninsulas and gulfs, things like that. Imagine like you take a paper plate full of water, and no, the earth is not a flat plate, this is just an example, and you take the edges of this paper plate full of water and you just fold them upward. What's going to happen naturally is a bowling effect, sort of. The water is going to collect in the center because of the moving upward of the edges. And now, simple as that, the water covering the earth is now officially seas. Because in order to be a sea, an ocean, you need to have depth and you need to have geographical separation. That's caused by the dry land. Once again, I think you know where we're going with this. Genesis chapter 1, verses 9 and 10. And God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas. And God saw that it was good. I don't think these verses need any explanation. I think you see what's going on. Alright, final step. We need some plants. This part is the most simple in the earth building process possible, because 6-year-old you with the above ground pool can probably figure out exactly how it works. Like I said, what happens to a pool, the walls of the pool specifically, when the water gets too stagnant? There's a bunch of green stuff, right? That's algae. According to the researchers at the Natural Science Journal, the earth formed plants via freshwater algae, eventually covering the earth and adapting to survive accordingly. These simple plants eventually growing roots to continue to get water despite great distances from any water source. Then they grew leaves, branches, trees, and there you go. Plants, right? Now, of course, I don't think I need to say it again. Genesis chapter 1, verse 11. And God said, "Let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seeds, and fruit trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind, on the earth." And it was so. Okay, that's it. We now have earth. This is everything you need for an earth to be an earth. But quickly, just if you're not convinced already, I have a little bonus one for you. You remember that dirty atmosphere that we were talking about? The hazy fog, dirty, very lacking in oxygen air? Well, at that time, the atmosphere would have been so hazy that it would have been impossible to see the stars. It's like trying to look at the stars through fog. You wouldn't be able to see anything. Well, lucky for us, our newfound plants just so happen to do something called photosynthesis. And if you went to 4th grade, you'll also know that one. It's basically the process of a plant soaking up sunlight, converting that sunlight into glucose, and as a byproduct of this process, it creates oxygen. Oxygen cleans the atmosphere, getting rid of all the dirty chemicals and things like that out of the air so much, and filling it with nice clean oxygen, making these stars visible. Now, can you guess if the Bible has anything to say about this? I'll stop you right there. Yes, it does. Genesis chapter 1, verses 14 and 15. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of heaven to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let them be lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth." And it was so. With all of this being said, I have just one question for you. How? Seriously, how? How did Moses, a guy from about 3,000 years ago, have any idea about any of this? He literally wrote a book, or more specifically, one chapter of just one book that details with such perfect exactness the creations of the earth. How? I get it with all the technology and knowledge we have now, but back then? No way, no one, and I mean no one, would have ever come up with anything even remotely close to that on their own. Like we just saw, he went in perfect order. It's not like he was close enough, or maybe a couple things were jumbled around. No, he went exact point by point. What? Everyone else at that time thought that if you sacrificed a child, it would rain. And Moses is over here telling you, no, here's an exact description of the exact way and the exact process in which the earth formed. Perfectly. You'd almost think that the God that created this earth was explaining his exact process and actions to Moses for him to write down. Nah, that can't be it. But with that, if you found yourself enjoying today's video, please consider subscribing and also check out my previous video that's linked on screen right now. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.